What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius banner review. And we're talking about the new Lara Croft Tomb Raider collab banner. And let me say, I am just overly excited for this banner. It's going to be amazing. Little spoiler there. But I do want to point out a couple of things. I know that FFBE isn't up for everybody. The iOS version of the game is still down in maintenance. And we're not really sure why. If you got the Amazon version or you have the Android version, it's ready to go. Some people are speculating that Apple is just saying the gacha rates you guys are releasing aren't enough. We need to know what the rates are on each individual character, or we're not going to approve the update or whatever. So that could be what's going on. So I'm sorry to all my iOS people out there, but for you guys taking the bullet for us, we may know the exact number of rate on each individual unit, which is something they probably should have done anyway. But all right, let's get into this banner review. First, we're going to be talking about Lara Croft. So I'm going to go on Lara Croft. I say Lara, I guess I have to say Lara or I'm going to get in trouble. She's a 5-star base going up to 6-star, and she's not going to be on the banner, but I did want to discuss her as we are getting 2 free units of her. So the first thing I want to say is don't get rid of one of them. Do not fuse one in the other one. You never know if that 7 stars coming, okay? Her TMR is Crossed Intuition. We click on that. That means we have Lucky Explorer. We got to go through a bunch of things. That means you're getting Elemental Resist up 7%, which could be useful in some cases when you need that extra 7%. And then we also increase HP, MP, attack, and defense by 10%. So it's not the best TMR in the world, but it could find its uses, and no big deal there. She can equip any kind of thing you want to throw on her. She has a lot of different equips you guys can go with. But overall, she is a dang good unit to be given to us for free. Her 2 attacks here, we can see an open wound and automatic pistol. You can see a 7-hit and a 6-hit. Those moves are going to be able to chain with the Eileen unit that's in here, and then Pile Driver +2, from what I've heard, and one of them is going to be a chainsaw chaining move. So I just want to make sure you guys understand, this unit here can dual wield, as you can see at the bottom, daggers, whips, throwing weapons, and guns. So it's a free unit you get for that, and in 10-mans or any other case where you got to build a chain up, you have chaining partners in Eileen, Explorer Eileen, or any chainsaw unit that's out there, like Edgar or Conrad. So she's very, very useful in that sense, where she's going to be able to build up a chain. Is she going to be able to be the strongest? Is she dishing out all that damage? Probably not. Oh, we have another move up here, full auto shotgun, which is 7-hit. Now, they haven't put in the exact chaining frames here, but from what I've heard of people looking up the data mine and things like that, those moves are going to be able to chain with those specific moves we just talked about. So that's going to be big. Also, she's going to be using them twice because she has innate dual wield. The other move she has here is she can put a 20% paralyze, decrease attack 30% on one of her moves, which isn't the worst in the world, chaining move. Negate 3 physical damage taken for 3 turns to cast her, and increase limit burst fill rate 100%. And that's going to be kind of important. It's called Adrenaline. We'll look into that in a minute. Restore MP and HP 20% to one ally, so you're going to be able to target someone with that if they need it. And then you're going to be able to do a base Asuna on them, but it's also going to give them MP, which is cool. You can also look at you can Libra the enemy and increase her attack by 80% for 3 turns to cast her. Not too bad. Let's look at her traits, though. Apex Predator. Increase physical damage to beast, birds, humans, and insects. So it's only 25%, but on a free unit, that's not too bad. She has increased physical evasion by 5%, so she could turn into an evade unit if you tried to make her into that. She has a little bit of evade on her. Increase resistance to poison and blind by 100%. Increase limit break fill rate by 100%, so she already has that innately. If you use Adrenaline, it's going to go up another 100%. She has weapon passives and a bow, throwing weapons, and guns. So if you guys are putting that on her, you can't dual wield bows with her, but throwing weapons and then the gun you could. I'm going to go with guns here. That's what Lara, you got to have the guns, right? Increase rare item drops by 50%. She has Relic Hunter here. Now that plus her TMR, you guys are going to be able to, she's just an amazing unit. For like raids, for farming out the different enhancement materials, things like that. She's going to be able to like chain up and be able to kill things. On top of the fact she has these innately, and as a free unit, holy shit. Oh yeah, and then right underneath it, increase skill obtain 100%. That's going to be on top of the other one. So just amazing passes on this unit. Increase attack and defense magic by 10%. She also has a exotic weapon prowess. It looks like she puts up her defense a little bit when she has these other weapons equipped, which we're not really looking into too much. Ace Adventure, again, is the double hand, or not double hand, excuse me, dual wield ability on these weapons she has here. Increase Spirit when she has a dagger, sword, or greatsword. That's to go on the opposite, I guess, of the defensive side. 1 life to live. Chance to ignore fatal damage, 60% when above 30% one time. So it's not, the 100%. It's not the big daddy she's definitely living. But at 60%, it's still over, half a chance there. And it's on a free unit. So overall, oh, and we're not done yet. I'll say the overall in a minute. Blaze of Glory. Physical damage 8 times to all enemies. It does cost 22 to fill up. So not the worst, not the best, but even if you don't level it up at 6-star, it's 5.6 to all enemies. It can go up to an 8 times multiplier. Plus she has, again, the ability to high tide and then adrenaline to put that up even more. That is really, that's pretty damn strong on a unit that's given out for free. I gotta say, Gumi, Square Enix, the collab you guys did here with this unit was amazing. It's much better than most of the units we've gotten for free in the past. I give Lara a very good rating here for being a free unit, and even I could find uses for her when it comes time to me having to farm some things, or maybe doing a 10-man trial. I need to get that chainsaw up. I'm going to have Lara there ready to go. So again, don't get rid of your other one. It's going to be useful. So Lara, pretty good. Now let's go to the actual banner where you're going to be summoning. It has 3 units on it. So the first thing I want to say is this is our basic biddy banner, I guess you could say. 3-star base, 4-star base, 5-star base. So none of that crazy stuff where it's got doubles on it. So that's pretty good. First person we're going to look at here is Ferro Abel. I don't really care for his TM too much. It's 10% grants power with the Sands passive, increased attack and spirit 15%, decreased chance of being targeted. Increased resistance to petrify 100%, but only on the banner units. So overall, I wonder if I hold over this now. It doesn't pop up yet. So it's not the worst TMR, and if we can farm it with the raid Moogles, if they're in the raid, I'm gonna pick up a couple, because that's essentially the budget build free-to-play way to grab it up. And if you end up using Ferro Abel, you end up using the Soleil or the new Eileen banner, that 100% petrify resist could be useful to put on that materia instead of having to take up maybe an accessory slot or something like that. Moving on down, we can see that he's a debuffer physical attacker. He has jump, which we're just gonna skip by. I don't understand. Assault style, increase attack 50% for 3 turns. A caster, not that big of a deal. This could be useful. However, there are a lot of units out there already, Olaf and things like that, that put up these resistances by 70% on their own. So increase light resist 70%. That's a high number, but he only covers that one element, so probably not the useful in the world. He could do paralyze and confuse 50% of the time, blind to sleep 50% of the time, to the skies. He's going to jump in the air, 2-turn delay to one enemy 3.5 times. Nope. Guard style, increased defense 50%, not too worried about that. This is the big move everybody was hoping would be big. We're hoping it would make him good. Celestial Hawk, decrease attack, defense, magic, and spirit 30% for 3 turns to all enemies. So it's just not as good as people were hoping. So really not that great. It is a full break on everyone. AoE full break here. But 30%, you're going to find, we found that that's just not going to be cutting it anymore. He does get Beast Killer, though, as we can see. Not too bad. Looking at his limit burst here, max damage 8.4 to one enemy. All right, decrease win percent 69%. I don't know why they don't make it 70%. There must be something there. Is there something there, guys? Is there like a hard cap? Like if you get to 70%, it's way too much? I don't really know. But decrease win resist, so he could be useful in the fact that maybe you get him on your team, you need a win imperiler, you don't have the highest one, you build it, you spin pots into him, and then you use them there for that big, like, 8.4 times multiplier, which is actually pretty large. And then you decrease the wind resist, but you got to build up his limit burst, and you probably have other ways to do it anyway. So overall, Abel, not the best in the world. He does look badass, though. And I just want one for my collection. Remember, guys, these are limited time units. If any of these catch your eye, you really want them, you need to get them on the banner now, or you're not going to be able to. Moving on, we're going to look at Divine Soleil here. And after I've looked at these units a little bit. Ankh of the Goddess. We have stats, and I got this a little bit wrong when I was first looking at it because I got way too excited. This TMR is still pretty good, but not as good as I thought it was. Okay, so it's an accessory. It's going to give you defense +3 is whatever. HP 15% and spirit 15% on an accessory. Awesome. If we can farm this up again in the raid, I would get as many of these as you can. If you end up getting Soleil, I would farm multiples. I wouldn't just like get one and be like, okay, I'm done. I would get multiples of these because a lot of the time HP 50% and spirit 50% is going to be pretty good in your accessory slot when trying to take down trials. Bless of the Life Giver, auto revive 30% HP for 2 turns to caster. So I thought this was going to give us an ability where we could cast it on other people. However, it looks like you can only cast it on yourself. I'm going to keep going with that, though. This may still be pretty useful in a lot of scenarios where, you know, I mean, just the HP 50% and spirit 50%, I'm kind of happy about, to be honest. Like, I'm okay with that being on the TMR, on something hopefully I can farm with TMR Moogles. Now, it's not as good as, like, Pod or whatever from the Nier banner, which a lot of people are saying, like, when I put best raid ever, the Nier raid was better. I'm just talking about the actual raid itself. For example, we can get 4-star base tickets, we can get TMR Moogles, we can, like, all these units are pretty good. We're gonna go over, you know, and Eileen is actually fucking insane. But so I can see this being useful too. So I'd get a couple of these just in case. It's very unique. Giving somebody the ability to cast auto revive on themselves. You could still put that on a tank. Get some good tank stats here, right? And then, like, maybe you do an AoE cover that lasts a few turns, or a provoke that lasts a few turns, cast the auto blessing on yourself to give yourself a re-raise, and just in case that ends up going down, your tank ends up dying. So I think that's very useful there. Moving on, Soleil's a little weird for me. I think she's going to be situational. We'll look over her abilities. Sanctify. Heal 1000 HP with a 3.4 times multiplier to all allies, and then it's going to mass Asuna. Pretty good skill there. Dance of Sorrow. Magic damage 2.5 times using spirit scaling to all enemies. So her spirit is what's going to be used to do this magic damage. So she has a shit ton of spirit. She's going to do a lot of damage. Inflict 1 random status element to all enemies. It's alright. She does get Gift of Life, which is revive 1 ally, KO 100%. So she's going to be able to full life somebody up, which I think is awesome. Magic damage 3 times using spirit scaling to one enemy. I like that they're giving units defense and spirit scaling because it just doesn't make sense to put a bunch of magic on them. Increase spirit 200% for 2 turns to caster, which is going to make these moves do a lot more damage. Enable the following abilities for 1 turn. We're going to get into those down below, but it's going to allow her, when she uses Dance of Grievance, it's going to allow her to unlock her like next dances, I guess you could say. She has Ankh, which is an auto revive up to 80% HP for 3 turns to 1 ally. She's going to have that on her along with the full life, which is good. She has Dance of Divine. She's going to heal everybody with a 1,200 HP, 3.4 times to all allies. So if you have that spirit up that we're talking about to be able to do a little bit of magic damage too, that's going to be pretty good. Heal 1050 HP, so 1,050, sorry, 7 times split over 3 turns to allies. So what she's going to do is she's going to heal everybody up and then put a pretty big heal on everybody over the split over the 3 turns, which is going to be awesome. And then it's going to enable all of the dance moves that we talked about before, or the other evocations and things like that. And we'll get into those there at the bottom here. HP 10%. So essentially what she can do is she can bring people back to life and heal them for a shit ton. She also has an AoE Asuna. So that's what we're going to go over right now. She doesn't look like she has any MP or buffing to the allies yet. So we're going to get into those moves down below. But looking at these abilities, it looks like she has a lot of healing and the ability to revive. Nothing really else going for us yet. HP 10%, Spirit 10%, Camouflage. So she's going to be 50% less chance of getting smacked in the face with that auto or that single target magic, single target physical. Increase MP 20%. Goddess of the Moon. Chance to counter magic attacks 30% with Will of Life. Will of Life. Magic 1.2 times using spirit scaling. Heal everybody, all your allies. So she does end up getting smacked, even though she's decreased chance. You're probably provoking with a tank. 30% of the time, if she does ever get hit, she's just going to heal everybody up and do a little bit of magic damage to hit back. So not the biggest deal. Again, like, it's weird for me because sometimes counter things, I'm like, that's a really good plus. But especially with this decreased chance of being targeted, not the biggest deal in the world to me. Spirit up again, 20%, which is awesome. Increase physical evasion, 20%. So, yeah, another physical evade unit you guys can try to build up. I don't like it, but you guys might. Recover MP 10% per turn. So, MP problems, if we look at her MP cost here, they're not even the worst, to be honest. 55 is kind of a little high, but she's going to be able to get 10% back on her own anyway. Increase MP 15%, so she has a lot of MP increasings. Increase resist to sleep, paralyze, confuse, and petrify. So, unlike with Abel's TM, you aren't going to have to worry about the petrify because she's already resist to it. Moving on down, if you use one of these 2 moves, so Dance of Grievance or Dance of the Divine, you're going to unlock Protection of the Goddess you guys can use. Or how many turns? 1 turn, so you have to do it the following turn. So you're going to use that. Okay, so let me look at this real quick. So it looks like you have to use one of these abilities and then use one of the bigger ones and then use one of these abilities and use one of the bigger ones. You can't just use this ability and then use that ability and then use this ability and use that ability. So there are going to be somewhat off turns, I guess you can say, from her, I guess, these unlockable things. Mitigate damage taken 40% for 2 turns to 1 ally. That's pretty big. 40%, that stacks up with physical or magic resist separately, and then that's going to stack up with guard, which is going to be a lot. Heal 800 HP 3.4 times to 1 ally, restore MP 70% to 1 ally, or 70%, dear God, 70 to 1 ally. 70 is still really good. So this is going to be her ability where she can put MP back on someone, and that person isn't going to be taking that much damage. I can see this being useful when you know your tank is going to take a big hit, or it lasts for 2 turns, so maybe, you know, it's a little bit of mitigation. You can start dancing, put that on. Let's look at the next one. Mitigate magic damage by 40%. Oh, no, it says mitigate physical damage taken by 40%. That's not, I thought it was all. It is physical damage and then magic damage. Excuse me, I misspoke there. So this is going to be specifically for physical damage or specifically with magic damage taken. The problem I have with this is, I don't know, I really wish it was all. That's all I'm going to say. But then the other one, she has 2. One would be for physical, one would be for magic if you need to cover that. It's cool, but at the same time, like, it needs to be, like, I don't know. We'll talk about it in a minute when we get down. Dance of Misery. Magic damage 5 times using Spirit Scaling to one enemy. So I'm not exactly sure how much damage she can do with all of her spirit and stuff like that. I don't know if that's exactly what you're going to be using her for. You know, you want to use her to be doing that supportiness. Let's go and go down to her Limit Burst. I shouldn't look at this. Increase attack when it's all the way maxed out. Okay, well, she does have buffs. Here they are. 24, though. Increase attack, defense, magic, and spirit 124% for 2 turns to all allies, and remove all debuffs from all allies. So that's really good limit burst. You have to get up to 24, and she doesn't have any, like, way to buff up her own limit burst, so that might take a bit to get there, but at least they gave it to her in her kit. Getting rid of all those nasty debuffs, you could save that for a turn when you need to be using that, so pretty good, pretty good. It seems like she has a lot in her kit, so she can heal a lot, she can single target, give you MP back, single target, stop you from taking physical damage a little bit more, or magic damage. I think she's a very cool unit. I think they're going to be uses for sure. But like when I'm building my team up, I don't know where I'm putting her. The other Soleil is still better in my opinion. You know, because she's buffing, and we're going to use the Soleil and a healer. Because here we still need a buffer, right? If we use this as our healer, which I don't think a lot of people are going to be doing, unless you don't have a healer, then you can go in and try to get her. She's going to be healing for a lot. But is Rosa not better already? Garnet coming out with her enhancements, she may be pretty good option too for your healing. Plus, you know, we got CG Fina coming on the next banner. We'll talk about it in a minute. So overall, I'm going to give her a solid 7.5 out of 10. She has her uses, but at the same time, I really thought, for some reason I read that mitigate physical damage taken. I was like, mitigate all damage taken, PogChamp. It's like, nah, it's not as good as you thought. But I can definitely see its uses though, right? Like, you can put that on your tank, heal your tank up, restore your tanks, but your tanks don't really need that MP. Going back on them. You want that on other people, so I don't know. I wish that was kind of like an AoE thing. I don't see a problem with it being AoE, because all kinds of other members have it. And it could be like an AoE restore MP like 30 or something, because you only get to use it every other turn. It's not like it's super powerful. So I think they missed the hit here. They could have done a little bit better, been you know, to all allies. I don't know why that's so bad, because other units do it all the time. Like Riku puts up your 30% mitigation, and then she also puts up your your elements resist, and you know, she takes a turn to turn it on, and then she can keep using it after that. She doesn't have to use something else and then use it again. So overall, I think 7.5 is good for her. Very good unit if you need a Healy unit. She can raise too, but overall, just not as good as I was hoping she was going to be, okay? Let's move on to Eileen, and my God, she makes the banner, dude. She makes the banner, dude. She's so good. We're going to get into her in a minute. Let's look at her freaking TMR, Tomb Raider. All right? Increase HP 20%. Awesome. That's almost like 30% is like the highest we got right now, so that's pretty good. Increase equipment attack 50% when single wielding any weapon. That's right. It's not double hand. It's true double hand. True double hand 50%. So that's going to be as much as the Martial Glove gives you, but the Martial Glove is going to give you that 40 attack, but it's still as much. So if you guys missed out on an Elfrida, you missed out on being able to make that 300% true double hand, this is your chance to get it back. Remember, limited time, and let's read everything else it does. Increase counter chance 25%, increase limit burst fill rate 2 per turn, and then again, it gives you the HP. So on top of the 50% that it's giving you for true double hand, it's giving you HP, limit burst fill rate, increased counter chance. Guys, if you guys are out there playing Demon Rain or a counter hit, true double hand countering thing, it's going to increase your chance to counter on top of the fact giving you limit burst fill rate, on top of giving you more HP and that little bit of true double hand. It's insane. This needs to go on Tidus. I'm definitely pulling one for Tidus. Now you're going to have to sacrifice a little attack, because even when you take that Martial Glove off, you can go up to the 45 on Desh's earrings, but it still leaves you with a little bit of attack down. But in the end, is it worth it to have increased HP? Is it worth it to have counter chance, which in some cases may not be that big of a deal, and then increase your limit burst 2 per turn, so it's like an ignorance with all this other stuff slapped on it? Yes. Yes. Like, even if you weren't even using the true double hand aspect of this takes place of all the ignorance on your Riku or anybody you're trying to build up. It's a beautiful TMR. It is an S tier TMR. If you guys have missed out on Elfrida or Cloud and you're really sad, this is your chance to get another materia here. And in some cases, I can see this being better. Some people don't have innate true double hand like Tidus, and you want to run true double hand. This slaps on him really good, and it works well with his limit burst, and it gives him some HP. I can't say it enough how good this TMR is. And for a lot of people out there, since it's limited time, you got to get it. You got to get it, guys. It's a solo 5-star, chasing 5-stars suck. Really strong. And not only that, though, you're not only getting a great TMR, folks. There's more. You're getting an amazing unit that is actually sick as hell. Equip whatever you want. Equip whatever you want. Moving on down, let's look at her abilities, which just blow my fucking mind. I'm going to skip everything because I want you guys to know something real quick. Let's look at her limit burst. Point blank impact. 50 Limit Burst crystals, right? So that's going to blow your mind right now. Why is it so high? We'll get into that in a minute. It's a 4-hit. Physical damage, 8.5 times with ignore defense, 50%. A lot of people don't understand why I'm just doubling the physical damage there on the multiplier. That's just how the game works, guys. It's the mechanics. When you do the whole damage calculating thing, the thing you do is it doesn't even matter. I thought it. I was like, it has to matter what their defense is. It doesn't. I know it's weird. It's just a weird mechanic. So they had 8.5. We times it by 2. 17 times, right? 17 times multiplier on this enemy, and it enables Killing Blow. Okay, Killing Blow, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But so her limit burst is bonkers. That's 17 times hit. It's a 17 times hit, guys. But there is a little bit of, like, what is that, right? Like, looking at that, like, what's going on there? Let's go to her abilities now. Limit Gatherer. Physical damage 1.8 times with ignore defense 25% to one enemy. Increased limit burst gauge fill rate 200% for 5 turns to caster. Pretty good. Limit burst fill rate by 200%. Pretty good. You can put that on her. Make sure you're getting that limit burst up if you need it. She has Analyze Weakness, which is Libra, with decreased defense and spirit 50% to one enemy. 50%. Let that sink in for a minute. That's fucking high. That is high, dude. And it feels good. It's on a Libra, so if you need to look at the enemy, you're not really wasting a turn, you know what I mean? She has Underhanded Trick, physical damage 2 times to one enemy, inflict blind 30%, and whatever. Decrease attack and magic 50%. So this unit, in 2 turns, can break down all stats by 50%. Okay? Physical damage 3 times to one enemy, and this is what we got to get into here. It's a 6-hitter. Increase limit burst gauge 6 to 12. So she uses an ability, if you look through here, increase limit burst 6 to 12. Increase limit burst 3 to 5. Increase limit burst 6 to 8. Increase limit burst 14 to 18. And this is her big move right here that apparently it's got Pile Driver in the name. I'm going to assume that's going to be able to chain with the other ability from the other Eileen. But yeah, so she has ways of building up that limit burst. It's very weird how they did it, but yeah, she has ways. Then we move on down. Fire damage 2 times to all enemies. Increase limit burst down. Increase resist to paralyze 100% for 3 turns to all allies. So she has breaks, and then she can put everybody 100% to paralyze resist, and that's important, along with increasing her limit burst gauge. So she's not only just passing that, she's also helping herself ramp up into her big hit move. She has acrobatic maneuvering, negate 2 physical damage taken for 3 turns to a caster, chance to counter physical attacks 40%, with a 3 times, is that 3 times multiplier? Is that what that means? For 5 turns to caster. So yeah, I guess that means a 3 times multiplier hit there. 40% of the time she's going to do that and increase her limit rate. So if you're taking a big physical hit, she can throw that on there to make sure she can live. But then let's talk about these 2 moves. Increase resistance to petrify 100% for 3 turns to all allies. Increase earth resist 30% to all allies. So she covers paralyze and petrify, 2 of the most common status elements you guys have to worry about in her kit. She covers 50% breaks on attack and magic, which is, the offensive, and defensive spirit, which is the defensive. And then she has a move right here. Physical damage, 2.2 times no offense, 50%, which is a 4.4. Again, we talked about. Double it when you see 50. 7-hitter, which is supposed to go with the pile driver plus 2. Increase limit burst gauge 14 to 18%. So, I just want to state this right now. This move is supposed to chain with Eileen, so we're going to have to test it out. So, Explorer, Eileen, supposed to chain with Eileen. Then also supposed to chain with Tomb Raider. Think about 10-mans, guys. Think about going to that 10-man stretching, coming in there with this badass unit right here, with another Eileen, and just being able to perfect chain in a 10-man where you can't use 2 of the same unit. Strong. Very strong. Very good. This unit is insane. Along with having all these other supporting things. You don't even need to bring another breaker, guys. She has one of the, some of the strongest breaks in the game. Just bat it up. Hit it out of the park. Moving on down. We're not done. We're not even close to being done. Increase experience gained by battles 100%, recover MP 5% per turn. So she has the 5% recovery, which we like on MP. And then she also increases experience gained by battles by 100%. I don't know. It seems like it's only on herself, right? So it's weird because as soon as you get her, you're just going to smack so many metal gigantoids, she's not going to be able to breathe anymore. So unsure on that, unless that means increased experience gained by battles for everyone. So when it does the experience, it's going to be increased twice. Could be like that, 100%, and then it covers everybody. But still, a lot of people are farming those gigantoids and feeding them in. So that's our main way of leveling up. But it's still cool to have it on there instead of just being the recover 5% MP. Increase HP 30%. Range mastery. Bow, gun, throwing weapon. Something we need to point out, throwing weapon. She can put on throwing weapon. I'm talking about the fixed dice people out there. Attack and spirit goes up 30% if you have any of these on. So if you dual wield her, and we'll go down here and talk about this too. Melee mastery. Dagger, sword, spear, fist, axe. Attack and defense 30%. She gets 60% if she's dual wielding, and she puts on two of these things. She gets 60% attack buffed up. She also gets spirit 30% and defense 30%. Disgusting. Treasure Hunter. Why not, dude? Why not put that on her too? Increase common item drop rate 50%. Increase gil by 100%. She's going to be able to get that gil for you. I know a lot of people out there are missing on gil. There you go. Chance to counter physical attacks 30%. Don't really mind that too much, but it's cool, especially if you put her TM on her. You know, it's cool because I guess you get limit burst crystals from that and Esper orbs, and that could be important in a fight, so I'm not going to overlook it too much like I have been, but there you go. She's not done with masteries yet, though. Increase HP and defense when equipped with the hat, and then equipped with the cloths. So if you do the cloths and the hat, you're going to get an extra 30% HP, 30% defense. She's bonkers, dudes. Analysis, increased attack 30%, whatever. Increased damage against mechanical and stone by 50%. Not only all of that, she also has, and we're going to look downhill, I don't know if you guys can see it, you can, skilled combatant, 50% against humans. She has she has mechanical stone and human killer innately. On top of everything else I've just said. Fuck yeah, dude. And then, oh, we're not done. She has innate 100% true double hand. Right there. Single weapon, any weapon. It's just disgusting. Chance to counter attacks 30% with energy rush. Increased physical evasion. Okay. Stop putting physical evasion on things. Actually, it's kind of cool as long as people don't abuse it, in my opinion. But if you abuse it, hey, all the more power to you. So, we'll move down to some of the abilities she gets. Shock absorbed fills. Comes from engineer's reflexes. You can see here. What that's going to do is increase defense and spirit 50% for 3 turns to caster, restore MP to caster. So she ends up triggering that. She's getting some MP back, the most thing there. If she gets hyper dodge triggers, which is this right here, which is a 30% chance, she's going to get her limit burst to go up, and then she negates 2 physical attacks for the next 2 turns. Both of those are awesome to happen to her. I mean, they increase the spirit and defense, whatever, because you're going to be buffing that anyway. But restore MP 25 to caster. We like that. What are her MP costs? 45. They love that fucking number, don't they, guys? And then killing blow. This is important here. I'm actually going to look this up, actually. 1 second. Is it a mechanics thing, or is it a mechanic? How do you... Oh, I'm misspelling here. There we go. Sorry, guys, I misspelled there. If we go to mechanics here, I want to look up... Is crit on here? Let me just type F, critical. Critical increases damage by 50%, okay? So I wanted to make sure I point that out to you guys. If you ever come in here, look at all this information. This is something else I wanted to point to you guys. Exvius Wiki, along with Exvius DB database or whatever, has tons of stuff you guys can read on. You can learn all about all of this stuff. Go through here, learn how killers work, learn how multipliers work, learn how the damage thing works. Get in here and learn it out. Just type mechanics. Make sure you spell it right, not look like an idiot in front of however many people watch my videos. But that's important because... of this ability right here in Killing Blow. How do we enable Killing Blow? It's by using her big-ass limit burst, but then it enables it the next turn. So it's going to increase this damage by 50%, so I think we just take the 7 times, put it up to a 14 times multiplier. Increase your limit burst fill rate by 100%, which we love. Increase attack damage, or attack by 50% for 3 turns. We don't really care about that. But these two abilities, 17%, right? That's how it would work, right? You just add this and you times it by 2, right? Because it's 50% more damage. Or am I dumb? I'm dumb. It's 50%, not 100%, Chris. Come on. 50% more damage is not 50% ignore defense, guys. That's actually going to be a, what, 3.5, so it's going to be a 10.5 times. I'm bad. I'm catching myself, though, in these videos, thank God, because you guys annihilate me in the comments. It's a 10.5 times. It's still extremely high, and then also giving you the limit burst fill rate, which is insane. So, I don't know if I hyped her enough up for you, but guys, I can't say this enough. This unit is insane. She's a top 10, top 5 unit for sure. The fact that she can chain up with the other Eileen, as long as it works out. You know, we haven't been able to test it. It says so. Frames say so. They said so. But, you know, they say things before, and sometimes bugs happen and things like that. So, this unit's insane. The TMR is S tier. I'm not going to say a must pull, but you're going to be sad if you don't have it. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, so let's go back and look at the banner as a whole. Again, all these TMRs should be obtainable from, Lara Croft's a little weird. Remember how we kept getting those trust moogles? That worries me. I mean, that's for people who don't play enough to get all the TMRs from the raid, and they're just trying to make sure they get the TMR. But, okay, so this unit, this banner's insane for TMRs, in my opinion. This unit is a stellar all-star. Gonna give her a high rating there. She's gonna get, oh yeah, I forgot to give her the rating. It's either a 9 out of 10. She's a 9 out of 10 unit. She just does too much. You can build her, that's the thing, like, and there are gonna be so many people building her different, right? You could build her to true double hand, hold artisan, and then chain with another maybe true double hand Eileen. You could build her to do fixed dice. The only problem with Explorer Eileen is she can't put an element on her. She also does not imperil in her own moves. So those are two things. She's very element non-friendly. However, you could always back her up, dude. You could always do something else. She can equip all the different items you want. She's ready to go. That's the only thing holding her back. So I'm gonna give her a 9 out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10 because she does have the support to back her up. She does have the damage to back her up. She does have the kit to back her up. She has the passives. Baby Explorer Eileen is what you want. And the TMR, like Jesus Christ. So overall, this is a pull banner. This is a pull banner, and I'm gonna. This is for everybody. A pull banner. Use your tickets. Maybe use a little bit of. Make sure to do your free summons. Go ham. Go happy because you're gonna be able to get great TMRs from the raid too. I do want to I want to put a little asterisk there though. If you are in dire need of a healer, and you want to chase a 5-star on a double 5-star banner, I'm pretty sure CG Fina, not Sakura. I know I said that last time. Be careful because I do believe it's coming out next week. So this banner is limited. CG Fina not limited. But if you don't have a healer that you think is good enough, that's really all you're missing. Remember, Explorer Eileen is only bringing you damage, but also bringing you a great TMR. But you know what I mean? So I just want to say that. But I say everybody pull on this banner. Have fun. It's damn good. Good job, Gumi, on everything you're doing. And point out, the Fountain of Lapis is back. Buy it, guys. If you feel like spending money on the game, it's the best value you'll ever get on the game. Very, very good. Spend it on that, and then maybe save it for CG Fina next week. I think she might be out. Or spend it on this banner. Do whatever you want. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how excited you are for this banner. I mean, tell me how good it is. Come on, let me hear it. And then subscribe for future content. I'll catch you guys in the next video.